Yo, what's up, everybody? It's your man Shaq Cook.
Oh, no, that's funny.
Okay, look, I was getting ready to delete this joint.
No, it's funny. Okay, start over.
Nah, forget it. I ain't gonna start over. I'm Shaq Cook.
I'm Deshayna Cook.
And this is Come In
Closer
with the Cooks, where we talk about what's going on in this world and we give you guys our thoughts.
Yes.
Not
our thoughts.
Facts.
Not facts. Just
thoughts.
Oh, look at that. Look at my shirt. Oh, let me button.
Hey, listen, this joint is real. It's just as real as it gets. So now we want to talk to you guys a little bit about what's going on in the world today. As you all know, the news broke. Obviously, Kanye West has dropped his new album, Jesus is King. But then also, a lot of people have a lot to comment, not just about the album, but just Kanye's new conversion to Christ. And so, yes. So, I mean, we're just going to give you guys our thoughts on it. You know, our thoughts on how people responded, but then also just what we think about the whole situation. So, I'm a gentleman. Ladies first.
What?
Yes. What are you thinking?
What am I thinking?
Well, have you listened to the album?
I have not listened to the album.
Okay.
I have not listened to the album. I don't have Apple Music right now because the way my bank account is set up. But
don't look at me when you say that neither.
Right. So, I don't have any thoughts about the album. I can't give any at this moment. I have not listened to it because I am the type of person where I don't jump on the hype. Hold on, let me fix my shirt. So, I don't jump on the hype right now. I want to wait. I want to make sure that my thoughts about the album are my thoughts when I listen to it.
Right. So
that way, I will listen to it once the hype die down, and then people's opinions and all of this and that.
Oh, that stuff start dying down.
Right.
Yeah.
So, yes, I haven't listened to the album. However, it's just a situation where if you do, you do. If you don't, you don't, unfortunately.
Yeah.
I think it's a great thing that he's came to Christ.
Absolutely.
Like, I think that we get caught up in the wrong things, that we miss the whole point.
Yep.
You know, I think the whole point really is that it's a soul that has gave his life to Christ. And the fact that he has not made the greatest decisions, you know, being in the limelight that he's in.
Right.
That he's in. He has not made some of the best decisions, but I think it's an exciting thing when a soul is saved. Soul is saved, you know, and they've given their life to Christ. I think that's a great thing.
Absolutely. I mean, for anybody, but and I'm not gonna say especially for somebody versus especially for somebody else, but I'm gonna just say this: like the impact that it would have in this culture for people who may not have even thought about, you know, coming to Christ. I mean, somebody like Kanye West with his notoriety and someone who's been putting out great music for years. Right. But not only that, but, you know, went through different life experiences and has came to Christ. And I just think that, you know, Kanye will be able to reach a wide variety of people, especially in the music industry and in Hollywood, because, you know, anytime that you take somebody who, or anybody who, you know, was famous for not being a Christian, you know, famous for music or acting, and they already have a big following, but then now they get a life to Christ, and then, you know, with Kanye, he's like, hey, Kim, don't wear certain things. He's challenging the people who's working with him to practice abstinence. I mean, like, some very impactful things.
That's cool, but that's a lot of things that we don't hear.
Right.
You know, or we don't celebrate. And I think that is, like, one of the most horrible things that, like, we live in society today, that everybody focus on the negative and not celebrate the positive. And I think that Kanye will be able to do a lot with his platform. My prayer is that he stays on a good track.
Absolutely.
Does not get distracted with the naysayers. And that if he truly has given his life to Christ, that he truly be transformed. Yeah. You know, allow God to transform him. And I think it's just an excellent thing. He has been one of my favorites, like, honestly. Right. I just have always loved his style, his his.
He was always different.
Yeah, he definitely was always different.
He came into the game
brought
different.
a whole different vibe to the game that a lot of things that people were not doing that have been in the game for a long time. He definitely. He's always been a trendsetter.
Yeah.
So I'm not surprised.
Like I even I was listening to Through the Wire earlier today.
Yeah.
He was talking about like when he first came into the game, like he was not talking about coke and birds, more like spoken word. Like, he was different from the beginning.
From the beginning. He had a message. And then sometime along the way, it just got lost. Like,
right.
And as you can tell that when he first came, what his drive was. Like, you can see it in his music, what his drive was in the beginning, the type of messages he had in the beginning. And then as life shifted for him, so did his music. And you can tell through his music that he was dealing with something.
Yeah.
And it's crazy because a lot of times we don't realize it. Like, they're superstars, but they live lives just like we do. They get up like we do. They go to jobs like they do. If they brush their teeth.
But essentially they're human beings. And I really wasn't understanding the Kanye wave since, after graduation, his whole sound changed. Once he went to the 808s, I was like, Kanye, what are you doing? Then over time it constantly changed. But I didn't really understand until his previous album, something about being bipolar. I love being bipolar.
Yeah.
When that album dropped and I listened to it, and I actually lost my father last year. And so then I was able to really empathize and really feel where he was coming from because I lost a significant individual, a parent as well.
Yeah,
so, like sometimes we really can't relate to people in certain situations until we experience it ourselves. And then, once I lost my father, like I really felt where Kanye was coming from, and I watched his interview with Charlamagne the God, and those things started to make sense to me because I was experiencing some of the same stuff. And so just to see him come to Christ throughout it all, and then just instantly, like, hey, listen, he's encouraging the people around him, even his family, of course. It all starts at home. Listen, honor God with your body and what you wear. Listen, honor God and don't have premarital sex. He's really pushing that. I love it. It's very impactful, and for somebody on his scale to give this message, it's gonna draw a lot more people from the hip hop community, from all over the world, all Kanye West fans. This is gonna draw their attention. And then I'm gonna say this because I'm gonna let you roll on with it.
Wait. I was gonna say that. Well, no, you can go ahead and say that.
Right. So absolutely, I want him to be able to be surrounded with the right people.
Right.
And that's not just him. That's everybody.
Yeah.
That's everybody. The company that you keep. The Bible talks about that numerous of times. It talks about it all throughout Scripture. The company that you keep. So, my hope and my prayer for him is that he will be surrounded with the right people. And being in that industry, it can be challenging. It can be very hard. But I will say this, he's making a lot of great connections. He's going to different churches. He's even connected to Liberty right now, which is something brand new. I don't know what's going to come out of that. But, just the fact that he's doing his Sunday service on a weekly basis consistently, I believe that he's going to be making some great connections, some spiritual connections that's going to be able to keep him encouraged and keep him uplifted, just like everybody in the Christian faith, just like everybody in the world needs the right people around them to keep them uplifted.
Yeah, and I want to piggyback on just one thing you said about the song I Love Being Bipolar.
Right.
And I think that when he decided to come out about mental health disorder or mental health period, I just think that was cool too because we don't talk about a lot of that in the black community.
Exactly.
It's getting better.
Right.
However,
for years
get
we
better.
avoided
And
that.
yes, for years we have not taken the time out to take care of the mental, or we don't talk about it. We just go on about it. We ignore it. We don't realize the signs until we have to realize the signs.
Right. Until we're forced to deal with it.
Right.
Yeah.
So I think that was cool, and then to promote because I also know that Charlamagne talks about he goes to a therapist,
right?
And from my understanding, Charlamagne is a believer, So I just thought that was cool too to even just talk about the fact that we do go through mental health, but also we do rely on Jesus, but we do need therapy too at the same time because God has gifted people to be in that era of, or that area
in that field.
Yes, in that field of therapy, and I don't think that's by no mistake.
Oh, absolutely. my degree is in psychology. Your degree is in human services.
Right.
And so when I went to school to actually be a counselor. I wanted to be a counselor just to, now I'm using my degree in a different form. But, God has given us all gifts and talents
Right.
and desires in areas that we're specialized in. And it's very important because if you take a look into this world today, you'll realize that, Christians are needed in every field of life. We need Christians in politics. We need Christian entrepreneurs. You need Christians in broadcasting. You need Christians in mental health and psychology.
Right.
You need Christians in human services. All across the board in every single field. If we're supposed to be the salt and the light, we got to take it somewhere.
Right.
It goes beyond those four walls of the church building. We have to take that bad boy everywhere that we go.
Yeah.
And especially in our field, in our everyday life. So I want to challenge everybody who's watching that be the light where you are planted. You don't have to wait until, Well, be the light.
Bloom where you planted.
Well, see, I'm saying it differently. I want to say be the light wherever you're planted, because you're planted here for this season.
I got you.
All right, she just want to challenge me right now. Welcome to Marriage 101. All right, but check this out. So I want people to be the light wherever they're planted.
I got you.
I'm being stubborn right now.
Okay.
I can't help it.
Be the light wherever you're planted.
Exactly. And the reason why I say this is because, you're not going to be there forever. God's going to take you throughout different stages in your life. But there are people who have to be impacted by your light, people who need you right where you are. So be that light right where you are. And I think Kanye is doing a great job and showing a great example of that. The people who work with him, he's being a light. It's like, listen, I want to encourage you guys. I'm not just walking this path. I want you to walk this path with me. And it's making impact. If it's impacting me and I never met him yet, then I know it's impacting the people that's with him.
All right. I agree.
However. Oh, okay. Excuse the rush.
Let's take a little. It's kind of sort of the same thing, but what do you think about Kirk Franklin right now?
Kirk Franklin. All right. So I'm gonna be honest. I don't know much about the situation. I haven't done my research, so I really can't give a definitive response to that. Now, are you referring to the whole Dove Awards?
Yes.
Yeah, I haven't done all my research.
Me neither.
Okay.
But me neither. So we don't have to talk about that.
All
We
right,
can
so-
delete that out.
Okay, well, we're not going to talk about that. But I will say this. Now, I have this burning question before we end this segment. Now, what do you feel is the importance of Christians being involved in the culture?
In the culture, as far as what?
In the culture, as far as what's going on in the world, hip hop culture. All cultures. Do you feel that it is important for Christians to be involved, or at least aware, or involved to a certain extent in culture? Your personal opinion. These are thoughts, not facts.
So, I feel like, well, let me scratch. I think that you have to know your boundaries.
Yeah.
I think that you have to know that if you're going to be in certain conversations, make sure that you know what conversations you're going to be involved in.
Mm-hmm.
And that's how I feel about it. If you know your calling is in hip hop, whatever the culture is, whatever the culture is, whatever your gifting is, wherever you're sent, I just feel like just make sure that you able to be a part of that conversation. Mm-hmm. Be able to be a part of the conversation, not just going to talk,
right?
But make sure you're going to listen,
right? Right.
That's important.
That's key. Listening.
That's important. Not
hear from a married man.
It's like, you just can't go and have this whole expectation that you're going to minister or evangelize. Like, get to know the culture before you decide to,
Absolutely.
go. And then it's like, and then be able to accept when you're not accepted.
Yeah.
Like,
Scripture talks about that.
Exactly. Jesus said, dust your feet.
And move on to the next city.
Yes.
Move on to the next town.
So we can't be upset about it when we are rejected.
Yeah.
You know, I think it's important. I work in a secular realm, I guess you can say, but there are a lot of Christians around me, and I'm able to talk about the gospel more than I ever thought I would.
Right.
So I just think it's cool. I think it's important.
Yeah.
Honestly.
Absolutely.
But just know your lane. You know, I'm not gonna go to a political conversation because that's not the conversation. I'm not prepped for that conversation.
Right.
So I was like, if you're prepped for it and you know that's something that you know you can do, but you can't go in beating people over the head with the Bible.
Neither.
Because for one, it's when you're trying to reach people, you got to be relatable. You can't just go in there like, well, the Lord said that, Genesis in the beginning.
Yep.
You know.
And then the message isn't going to do what it's supposed to do and actually reach the people. It's actually going to push people, get you pushed further away from the people. And you know, if I was to answer that question, absolutely. And you said pretty much what I was going to say. I mean, you have to study the culture that you're going to be involved in.
Yes.
You have to understand it. Like, for example, I'm not going to go to Compton and wear red.
Well, it's like if you go visit another country, you need to study on the country.
Exactly.
So that way you don't end up in jail because you don't know the rules.
Right.
Because that can be done.
Right.
It's easily done because different countries live way different than we do.
Absolutely.
So you have to do your research before you just pop up there.
Right.
So I do think being a Christian is important to the culture.
Absolutely. Hey guys, you heard it.
Culture's lost.
You heard it. You heard it best from us. I mean,
this is a world full of copycats.
Yeah.
And no realness and fake.
We keep it real here. Period.
I don't know if fake is the word I want to use, but no.
Not authentic.
Yes. No authenticity.
Authentic. No authenticity.
Yes. It's very uncomfortable.
Right. Hey, you got any questions for me to answer before we end this thing off?
Do you love me?
Absolutely.
Do I have a question for you?
Yes, we're talking about what's going on in the world. We're talking about, our thoughts and our take, and I think it's very important for people to actually get our perspective on things and maybe could see things through a bigger and wider lens and maybe have rationale to be challenged. It's something that somebody always encouraged me to have, my rationale challenged, because that's how we grow. So
no, I don't have any questions, because I felt like you took over this whole interview or thought process. We'll talk about Kanye. You talked for a really long time.
Oh, okay. Well,
I felt like you could feel my.
I'm gonna tell you what Jamon told me. Boom.
If
there
you come
you
to
go.
the play, you'll know.
Exactly. Hint, hint. Wink, wink. Whatever.
Well, we hope that you enjoyed this.
Hey.
And when this is posted,
Yeah.
please give us some topics to talk about.
Please do. Please
That would be
do.
so great.
Please do. And listen, this isn't going to be the last one. You guys are going to be hearing more from us. I mean, we are the cooks, and we're going to give you guys all our thoughts on what's going on. But not just from any perspective. We're going to give it to you guys from the Christian worldview.
The perspective.
The
cook perspective.
The real deal.
Yeah. Once again, it's just opinions. Don't get mad.
Not facts.
Just opinions. Thank you for tuning in for Coming In Closer with the Cooks. Is that how we said it?
I gotta go
Come
back.
in closer with the Cooks. Yes.
We just made it up about like an hour ago.
Thank you for coming. Wait. Thank you for, tune in for the next video for Coming Closer. Come in closer with the
Cooks. That sounds
Let's
about
say it
right.
at the same time. Come in closer with the Cooks.
I like.
Ow.